What's going on, everybody? Halo Drama here, yet again, with another Rewind Rumble reaction video. This time, Freddy Krueger versus Wolverine. Interesting matchup. Outside of the claws, not sure what they have in common. Outside of the fact, maybe the healing factor. We all know Wolverine is famous for that. Hard to kill him, either one, because of that fact. I don't know. I really don't know how this one would go. I really don't even know who to favor. I don't know who to vote for. But I guess if I had to pick one, I guess I'd have to go with Freddy, because how do you really kill that dude? I don't know. But let's find out. Let's go. Rewind Rumble.
A man who has nightmares every night of his life is in pain. This is an important quote from the 2013 Wolverine film, as Logan was a troubled man filled with many nightmares. Because of this, he makes the perfect target for a slasher like Freddy Krueger. These two entities have very similar attack styles, but quite opposite goals. All dreams come to an end, but today we
I'm
find
sure
out if this dream ends
Logan is
happily
mentally
or
fucked up for
miserably.
real.
Today we rewind Rumble. The origins of both characters are embedded in tragedy. The major difference between Logan and Freddy was the response to tragedy. Logan coped with his emotions and decided to fight for good, while Freddy let his emotions loose and decided to commit heinous crimes. Wolverine spent his childhood in Canada during the late 1800s. Before he coined the nickname Logan, he was known as James Howlett. However, he wasn't James for long, as after the groundskeeper of his home killed his father, James went and got revenge for his dad and took out the groundskeeper. After that, he ran away and went under the identity of Logan. Frederick Charles Krueger was essentially born thanks to an insane asylum. His mother, Amanda, was a nun who worked at the asylum taking care of patients. Tragically, she was beaten, abused, and raped in the asylum. As a nun, abortion was not an option, but adoption was. So Freddy was adopted to Mr. Underwood. Unluckily, Mr. Underwood was an abusive and alcoholic father. These two scenarios set up Freddy for a terrible life filled with bullying and punishment. When Freddy got older, he got a chance to raise his own family, and he did raise a daughter with a loving wife. And at first, everything seemed normal, but behind that peaceful facade was a horrific desire for vengeance from all the abuse and bullying that took place during Freddy's childhood. Switching back to Logan, it's crucial to know that Logan is a mutant, which means he was born with his powers. While his powers do have genetic mutated origins, that's only one part of his abilities, as the second half comes from intense lab experiments. The most iconic experiment was when Wolverine's bones were fused with adamantium.
I can honestly say I never knew Freddy Krueger's
It can survive
background.
nuclear explosions, heavy impacts, extreme heat, and could easily slice through many forms of matter with little effort. Wolverine may have gained his powers via birth and lab experiments, but Freddy's have matters into their own hands and lit Freddy on fire. While Freddy was burning alive, he was approached by dream demons. The dream demons granted him the ability to enter and kill people in their dreams, with fear as his source of power. After this incident, Freddy has gained many abilities, but it's extremely important to understand that these powers are restricted in the dream world. In your dreams, he can create time loops, as shown in the fourth Nightmare on Elm Street. He can turn invisible. He can
fucked up Johnny Depp like that.
He is an expert slasher and is intangible. However, his durability and immortality is solely dependent on how
fuck with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is invited to the barbecue.
He can thrive. If not a very dangerous weapon in combat. On many occasions, Logan can stand toe-to-toe with the likes of Spider-Man, Hulk, and Thor. He's even fast enough to tag Speed Demon. Wolverine also has an impressive healing factor and an extremely slow aging rate, but he is not omnipotent by any stretch of the imagination.
True.
His so-called kryptonite is his brain, for that is the source of his healing factor. If someone manages to temporarily crack his skull and take out his brain, Wolverine can be put to rest. Though doing so is quite a challenge, it's not impossible, but it is hard. Wolverine has lost battles before, and with his short temper, he could make careless mistakes and bad decisions. Both of these men use the art of slashing in a similar combat style, but for very different purposes. Wolverine uses it for good, while Freddy does it for evil. Wolverine's greatest weakness is Freddy's greatest strength, the brain. The only question is left, who walks away victorious?
I'm still kind of giving the edge to Freddy, but we'll see.
And now it's time we set ourselves a circumstance. The location of this battle will take place in Wolverine's nightmares with one night of preparation. It is impossible for this battle to not have preparation because
if they're fighting in the dream world, you gotta give it to Freddy. But we'll see. We'll see how they, as I always say, let's see how they spin it.
Level of fear, regardless of how small that level is, to see Freddy in his dreams. So for that reason, this battle will
loaded in.
One night of preparation.
And
with that circumstance,
you're still talking.
Finally loaded, it's time to rewind rumble.
Alright, let's see what we got here. I was gonna say, and yeah, well, did say it was in his dream, so of course they'd be fighting in the mansion. Or he'd be in the mansion, I should say.
Bitch.
He had to be all in between her titties like that, though. But does Wolverine still have his healing factor in his... well... in his dreams? I guess it's... because I know it's that they say if you die in your dreams, you die, you know, in real life. But is it the same as saying the damage you take in your dreams, you take in real life? Because if that's not the case, then how can Wolverine heal in his dreams? If that's not the case.
Damn it.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like this is systematically set up for Wolverine to lose, but we'll see. Really? Oh, no shit.
I hope you enjoyed.
I don't know if I'm allowed to make predictions anymore.
Thanks to the newcomer on our team, John Powell 3D. He's got some pretty cool content on his channel as well. Also, don't forget to download the Animation
This is
Rewind
definitely
app.
a slick
It's the best
fight,
way
though.
Besides Patreon to support this series. Thanks and enjoy the post-analysis. Wolverine Wolverine's biggest nightmare may not have been Freddy Krueger, but he is afraid of people who haven't played Space Memes yet. You must have no soul to both know the existence of this game and willfully reject trying it out. Seriously, you are one scary human if that describes you. But anyway, let's get back to seriousness. Statistically speaking, Wolverine creams Freddy, and before we go over why stats in this debate don't really matter as much as other debates, just know that Wolverine is far faster, as he was fast enough to tag Speed Demon, clocking him at massively hypersonic. He was strong enough to puncture the Hulk, which easily gives him City Plus striking strength, and with the adamantium skeleton of his, he's pretty much safe in the durability category. But again, stats aren't really important for this debate, solely on this episode's circumstance. The entirety of this battle took place in Wolverine's mind and dreams, so any realistic stats he's displayed in the real world may or may not have an effect on how strong he perceives himself in his dreams. Previously, would he be able to overcome his fear to the point...
I usually try not to be that person that pauses videos in the middle of a reaction, but I was actually thinking the same thing, and that's what I was going to say. Wolverine doesn't really fear anything or anybody, so how can Freddy really fuck with him? That does make perfect sense.
Of diminishing Freddy from his mind. Luckily for Wolverine, he shouldn't really fear Freddy to begin with. Logan has pretty much seen all of Freddy's bags of tricks before with his countless battles against other monsters and gods in the Marvel Universe. Plus, Wolverine has proven many times that he can resist mental assaults. To directly quote Wolverine from one of the comics, he has once stated, "I've got level 9 psi shields installed courtesy of Charles Xavier himself. A level 9 telepathic blocker is one of the highest Professor X has ever produced. It has protected Wolverine's mind against gods who struggle to read it. He even outlasted a group of Avengers, as Wolverine's mind was immune to reality warping. So if gods struggle to read Wolverine's mind, let alone manipulate it, what's going to make you think that Freddy would have any success trying to tamper with Logan's brain? Wolverine clearly doesn't fear death or pain, which will greatly limit Freddy's fear tactics. Freddy will be limited to trying to scare Wolverine via harming others. The suffering of people Wolverine cares about might prove effective at first, but it'll also speed up the triggering of Wolverine's Berserker mode. Basically, Freddy's tactics will anger Logan more so than scare him. And in Berserker mode, Wolverine's only emotion is rage, as shown during a mind lobotomy in the mode. In this mode, if all other emotions are depleted, especially the fear emotions, Freddy will most certainly lose his power and diminish. This leaves Freddy in a logical box. It's more so of when Wolverine is going to win, not if Wolverine is going to win. Making the winner of this Rumble, Wolverine. Now, if you want to see us...
That's one of the few times where his analysis made perfect sense. Perfect sense.
Slasher free-for-all with the likes of Jeff the Killer, Freddy, Michael Myers, Jason, and many others. All you have to do is
I'm going to assume someone else wrote it.
If this video gets 10,000 likes, such a free-for-all will be put into production. Also, don't forget to comment down your own ideas for future episodes. Don't forget to download the Animation Rewind apps, and stay tuned as the next fighters are going to be revealed. On the next episode of Rewind Rumble.
Help! Help!
Mario, or specifically Paper Mario?
In a new adventure, he has new friends with special abilities.
Go! Oh, you're too slow.
Archie Sonic. Not sure what that means. I think they had a comic book maybe or something, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I said, that was one of the few times where I feel like his analysis, after the fight actually made perfect sense. Logan's not really scared of shit, so how can Freddy really fuck with him? That was a good one though. That was actually one of the better fights I've seen so far besides Goku and Saitama, which you know who was going to win that one. But other than that, on to the next one I have time. So until next time, peace.